Aloha and welcome to another episode of Omens. I'm JayDreamerZ. In this segment, it's called Omens. What I like to do is check out what's happening around the world and get a feel for how close we are to the apocalypse, to the plasma apocalypse, actually. And I just got back from TrutherCon 2025 in Texas, posted a few videos on my Patreon, so those just went up today. If you're on my Patreon, feel free to go check it out. If you're not, go check it out anyways. You can join the chat and some other things. But right now, I just want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. This is what it looks like on my screen. What's up, everyone? Hey, it's been a minute since I've seen you guys. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. Thumbs up if you can hear me, okay? And we're going to get right into some of the omens that are happening this week. This will be pretty interesting. I'll come back to the chat in just a bit. Now, first and foremost, this article says, no one actually knows what a moon is. Now, this is interesting to me. They're trying to say no one actually knows like what the moon is or whatever. This is an article at yahoo.com, Yahoo News. And it's interesting to me because it's twofold. On one hand, they're speaking for all of you. They're saying nobody on Earth, nobody in the history of the world ever knows what the moon is, right? What is the moon? But it says in the Bible, it says in a lot of different books, the moon is a luminary. The moon is a light. That object that you see right there flying around in the heavens going back and forth is a light. It's a projection. And because it's a projection of something that has a source that looks similar to this, except this image is upside down and inverted. It's all within optics. All of these luminaries that are created in the heavens are created by the firmament or by the dome, and the light passing through the dome acting as a lens above us. And it flashes into our world in different ways, sometimes as points of focus known as stars or the sun, sometimes as projections known as planets and the moon. But they say no one actually knows what the moon is. See, this is another play on words, okay? Sometimes they put things into the media as they hide things in plain sight, I guess you could say, that are messages to one another for those who do know, for those who are in the know. Now, this word right here, this phrase, no one, also often phrased as nobody, okay? No one, nobody. If you go all the way back and we look at the etymological root of this phrase, it actually comes from the Proto-Indo-European word nem, or of the nem, which is Nemo or Nemu. Now, what is Nemo? Anytime you hear no one or nobody or Nemo, what it represents is of the leftovers, right? It's a lot. A lot is what is left over, what is allotted to a person or whatever. It represents the people who are left over after a cataclysmic cycle, after the apocalypse. They're known as the victors. They're known as the Nemo. They're known as the survivors. You see what I mean? They're victors over an apocalyptic event. And each cycle, those people that survive, they set up and give birth to the future. They're the ones who are going to dictate what the world looks like. They're the ones that keep these secrets or forget them, and pass those secrets on to their firstborn and their firstborn and their firstborn until technology advances to the point where they can build spaceships and they can become doomsday preppers like NASA and Elon, getting ready for this next apocalyptic event that only a select group, only a few people will know about. For sure. They'll start building bunkers for those who will not leave the world behind but choose to stay here or have to stay here. That's what this word means, Nemo. The leftovers. Okay. What is the moon though? The moon is a light. This right here is a light. These comets you see, these are also lights. These are known as chromatic aberrations. This is a projection. It's a hologram in the sky. It's a projection of a portion of our firmament, which is reflecting back our very land to us. Let me jump in the chat, make sure everything's looking good. Oh, okay, cool. I see a lot of thumbs ups. Thank you. Good to see you guys in the chat. All right, sweet. Let's move on to the next article. Farewell to Earth's oxygen. Scientists, whoever they are, Predict how long oxygen has left on the planet and give an approximate date. This is them setting a date for their own version of the apocalypse, right? How long is it going to be before the oxygen runs out? How long do you guys think, in the chat, how long do you guys think that academics is putting it out there? How long is it going to be before the Earth's oxygen runs out? I'll check and I'll tell you in a minute. I'm going to check on the chat, see what your guesses are. But I do want to say this. This is an omen in and of itself, right? Farewell to Earth's oxygen. This is going to happen to us, okay? First and foremost, the oxygen levels are depleting and stuff, but they're also increasing during these last times, during these last days, because of the heating up of the ocean water, or all water on the surface, really. Whenever water heats up, it starts to release its oxygen into the air. But during the plasma apocalypse, during the neutral point of the next and upcoming polarity shift, the magnetic field that holds in all of our gases in our atmosphere will disappear. All of those gases will rush up towards the apex of our dome, and it will punch a hole into the ice wall or into the ice dome or the glass ceiling. When that happens, our atmosphere will depressurize, and exactly how they show you in movie after movie, many of them I've decoded, the oxygen will be sucked up and out of our atmosphere. All the gases that comprise our atmosphere will be sucked up and out. Not all of it completely. It won't make a complete vacuum or anything, but it'll be rapid depressurization. So, for a short period of time, it will be difficult to breathe, or it'll be akin to breathing in a hurricane or in a wind tunnel or in a vacuum. So that's the omen behind this particular article. Farewell to Earth's oxygen. Now, let me check on the chat, see how long you guys think. Okay, we got 150 years tomorrow. We got 10 years, 260 million, 33 million years, a million. Okay, cool. You guys are pretty close, pretty on point. So how long is it going to be before academic says the Earth runs out of oxygen, which is going to happen during the plasma apocalypse? But don't fear, because it's just getting rid of all the toxic atmosphere, all of the chemtrails, all of the pollution, all of those particulates that are in our atmosphere need and must be replaced. If it's a closed system, it necessitates that system open up and flush out all of the toxins. It's going to do this with the waters. It's going to do this with the atmosphere. Now, they go on to say, after that, everything will change. Not because of pollution. How many years is it? I don't know. I don't have that one. It's like millions and millions of years. So you guys were right. Okay, millions and millions of years from now. So you don't have to worry about it. They even say something like you have enough time to pack and get ready for the apocalypse. No, you don't. I'm telling you right now. You better start packing now. You better start packing tonight. You better start getting ready, getting your go bag, getting your oxygen, getting your glow sticks, getting all the things that you probably might want to have around that would be useful for the plasma apocalypse, because it's coming quickly and it's coming swiftly and it's coming soon and suddenly. It's not coming in millions and millions of years. It says after that, everything will change after all of the oxygen is removed. Now pay attention to what they say next. I find this to be very interesting. It says after that, everything will change, and not because of pollution or humans, although that's another topic, but because of the sun. Everything will change, according to academics, because of the sun. Its brightness will increase. Global temperatures will rise, and the planet's carbon cycles will be altered. This is happening now. Wake up and look around. I told you guys to go take pictures of the sun at midday and prove to yourself that it's white, burning hot, no longer yellow, not a tinge of color in it when it's directly above. It used to be a yellow sun. It used to be an orange sun. It used to be a red sun long ago. Now it is white with a corona, a circle of light blue. And it's going to continue that pattern until it's completely blue. But they say its brightness will increase. Yeah, that's a biblical prophecy that the sun's brightness would increase 7 times, 7 more times brighter than it used to be. Many of you are witnesses to this, and you've recognized that it is brighter. You're getting sunburned easier, sunburned faster. We talk about this particular omen all the time. Global temperatures will rise. and the planet's carbon cycles will be altered. Well, that's all happening right now. They're trying to get you to think, oh yeah, it'll happen in millions and millions of years, as it's actually happening right now. Next up, Doomsday Glacier Alert. Ocean water found deep beneath Antarctica, accelerating the melting that could raise sea levels over 3 meters. So we've all heard about the Doomsday Glacier in Antarctica. Symbolically, as an omen, this represents the dome. This represents the firmament, which is made of ice. Okay, and whenever that ice breaks off, that's when the apocalypse kicks off because of atmospheric depressurization. Now, they're trying to tell everybody that the melting of this ice is going to raise all the water. Yeah, maybe a smidge, maybe a tiny bit. But it's actually the heating up of the water by the sun that is heating up right now, as we just discussed, that causes the water to expand. And when the water expands, the sea levels rise, right? Next up. Oh, I got a video here to share with you guys about technology. Let's check out this robot back here. This is the new household servant robot, but this one has a twist. Let's check this out.
It is going to be not perfect, but back to like just incredibly useful.
Neo might not fold my shirt perfectly, but if an arm is like kind of hanging out of the shirt, like it's okay. It's robotic slop. It's
to me at least, like that's very okay.
Honestly, it isn't bad. Thank you. But the reality is, at least at first.
So interesting. The robot is good at helping you out around the house and being your little house slave. And it might not be perfect at first. But there's a twist. Check this out.
Much of Neo's work will be done by someone else. There will be an app where you can schedule teleoperation, specifying exactly what and when you want Neo to do things in your house.
So we want to, of course, make sure that we respect privacy as much as possible.
What does this mean? This means that that robot right there, named Neo, will be remotely controlled by somebody that has a VR glasses and gloves and stuff. It'll be an actual human being who's being paid, whose job it is to be your servant and to live vicariously through a robot suit to go around from some other place in the world and doing your chores for you imperfectly. I think that's super interesting.
And that it's always on your terms. You are always in control.
Oh yeah, you're always in control. When someone else is trying to control a robot that probably will have AI integrated into it as well, you're going to be in total control of that. They swear, they promise that they're not going to spy on you or record any of your information or things that go on inside of your house. If you're walking around naked, they'll blur you out. They promise no one will see you or any of your sensitive things.
Some examples of this is the teleoperator does not see you, right? We can blur people. Teleoperator also cannot go into specific parts of your home where you set no-go zones. So that's enforced on the software level. So even if the teleoperator would try, they cannot get the robot to go into those homes. And also the teleoperator can never connect to a robot unless you approve it.
Other companies, like Figure and Tesla, are also racing to build humanoid robots and develop their own AI models to make them fully autonomous. As someone who's always dreamed of the home robot straight out of the Jetsons.
Let's go home, Rosie. Yes, ma'am.
The dream finally feels within reach, but I also couldn't shake.
Anyways, I think that's completely strange to not just have a robot, but a robot that a human is basically living in and possessing. It's like, it's a possessed robot at that. Next up, I got another video to share with you. There has been a stabbing in midair. Check this out.
Is in custody for allegedly stabbing 2 people on a flight from Chicago using a metal fork from the meal service. The Lufthansa flight to Germany was diverted to Boston. The suspect allegedly stabbed 2 teenagers, one in the head. They survived. If convicted, the suspect could face 10 years in prison.
Now, I think that's pretty interesting to me. One, because people are going crazy. 2, because the logo on the plane looks like a fork or some kind of weird utensil or something. And people are getting stabbed all over the place. You're going to hear about all these random acts of violence. I've been talking about this for quite some time, but as we get closer and closer to the apocalypse, the plasma apocalypse, All of the gases that are being released into our atmosphere right now are increasing the pressure, and therefore it's amplifying the energy. It's amplifying evil energy, which is most of the energy in the world today during this satanic era, during this season of Satan that I believe we live in. And it's also amplifying and increasing the good energy, which is just a pocket or a remnant, you could say. So the good are becoming more good, and the evil are becoming more evil. And pretty soon, it'll be so much evil that it'll be commonplace and commonly accepted. This is not just my intuition. It's not just my perspective. It's prophecy across every major religion across time. Next up, Interstellar Comet, 3i Atlas. Let's talk about this bad boy. Blasts a jet towards the sun. It blasts a jet towards the sun in a new telescope image. This is the telescope image right here. And you can't really see it, but we talked about this a couple different times. It formed what's known as an anti-tail. So the tail, the sunlight is supposed to be coming in this direction, and therefore heating up the space slushy snowball, and then it develops a tail behind it. Okay, I get that. Makes sense under that explanation. Problem is 3i Atlas has developed an anti-tail in addition to its regular tail, which means there's a beam of light or another tail that's shooting out like a line in front of this object, or what people are calling an object. That's super interesting because the only explanation for an anti-tail, or the typical explanation for a tail in front of a comet, is people say, well, the tail in front is actually way far away, and that's where the comet's tail used to go, and now the light is hitting some of its particles it left behind long ago just right, and it looks like it's in front of it, but it's not. It's actually on the other side of its orbital path. Problem is, this one is, they're saying this is the first time that this particular comet has ever been in our solar system. I don't know how they could calculate that or know that or even possibly know that or make that claim, but that's what they say. So it cannot have that kind of an anti-tail. So what do they say caused this particular anti-tail? Let's see if I can find it here. There we go. Now, here's what they say. While comets do warm up when they get close to the sun, that's not true because a comet is a light, just like the moon is a light. They're just chromatic aberrations. They're optical effects that are out of focus. They're stars that are out of focus. They're wandering stars that are out of focus. The area facing the sun heats up fastest, and if there is a weaker area on the surface of the comet, sublimated gases under the surface can burst through forward ahead of the comet, causing these sun-facing jets. So here's what they're saying. They're saying the forward-facing jet on this particular comet is like space brakes. Like, you know how NASA, when they want to slow down, they just go pss, 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 and they slow down, which is ridiculous because that's like doesn't work unless you're in the atmosphere. If you're in the vacuum of space, there's no way that would ever work. But that's what this comet is doing. Allegedly, it's outgassing way in front, like millions and millions of miles, shooting ahead of itself. Keep in mind how fast the comet is allegedly going and how fast these outgasses in front of itself need to be going too. And then they're going in a straight line. It's not like they're spreading out in some jet that's just kind of diffuse. No, it's like a straight laser in front of this thing. Why is it a straight laser? Because it's light. And that happens to be the area where the light that's causing the chromatic aberration has like a whole bunch of directly straight rays of light behind it, okay, that are not scattered. Anyways, 3i Atlas, let's talk about the name, okay? Why is this particular comet interesting? With all these comets, they're naming them after ancient gods and things that people saw in the sky. This is something that people saw in the sky. This is also the Roman numeral 3. It's 3 eyes, right? But what this is, if you turn this on the side, it's actually the ancient Phoenician letter called chet, which means a boundary, okay? This is what people saw at the boundaries of the earth at the extreme north, what is now known as Hyperborea, basically. You had one pillar of light on one side, one pillar of light on the other side, over here, and one pillar in the middle. The pillars of light are ionized gases that are released from within the earth, and they erupt out of fissures in the earth and openings in the earth. The larger the opening, the higher up in the sky they'll go, and the larger the beam of light that will be seen. The one in the middle is the largest beam of light, the largest opening on earth, which is, according to tradition and legends and myths and religious accounts and stuff, the opening inside of Mount Meru, the inside of Rupus Nigra, a holy mountain at the center of the world at the North Pole, magnetic in nature, and all of your compasses point towards it. The central pillar, the central beam, comes up, healing light, cold plasmas, which is probably ionized oxygen, rush up from the center of the earth. On either side of that island, there are other subsequent islands. One is positive, one is negative. I call them the anode and cathode islands because that's what they are. And people saw this in the distance. They saw 3 beams of light. They saw the 2 pillars of Hercules, and then they saw Hercules himself in the middle. Also, Atlas, the same character. Also, Samson, the same character, okay? This central figure that holds up 2 snakes, or 2 witnesses, or 2 lampstands, or 2 beams, or 2 lions, or whatever it may be. This is what people saw. It's Jesus on the cross with the repentant and the unrepentant sinners next to him. It is God walking in the garden with Adam and Eve on one side and the other, positive and negative. But this is why they're naming it this, because this is going to return. Atlas is going to return to this world. The ATL is the root of Atl, of Quetzalcoatl, right? Atlantis, right? This was the god of Atlantis because the island around that mountain was Atlantis. So people looked up in the sky, they looked off in the distance in the north, and they would see those 3 beams. Now, before that 3rd beam, which is the last one and largest one, that's the last one to arrive. So before that, people see 2 beams. They see the pillars of Hercules, like a doorway. But then once it fills all the way up with inner Earth geoplasmas, that last and final beam of light from the largest opening at the center of the world erupts, stretches up into the heavens, and separates into cosmic ethereal wings of auroras, right? People saw it in different ways. Now let's check this out. You guys might be familiar with Dr. Michio Kaku. This is so weird. Watch this video. This dude aged super quick, but he's going to give you his professional opinion on 3i Atlas.
The interstellar object NASA's been tracking, 3i Atlas, is roughly the size of Manhattan and has been displaying several unusual movements and features which kind of defy typical behavior of comets. It's even catching the attention of some military analysts. So what does this mean for all of us here on Earth? And what can this mysterious object tell us about what's outside our own solar system?
These are what I call reptilian eyes, just so you guys know. Just besides the point, okay? But there's something cold about these kinds of eyes. I see it on television everywhere, especially newscasters. Remember that lady who was a newscaster from the movie They Live? Oh my God, yes, those are the reptilian eyes.
Let's ask physics professor at the City College of New York, and he's a New York Times best-selling author of Quantum Supremacy, Michio Kaku. So this mystery object has been added to the International Asteroid Warning Network. That's the first interstellar object ever to make that list. So
let me also jump in real quick, right before we get to Egg Shin over here. There is no such thing as an interstellar object. There's a dome above the Earth. That's what these people fail to realize, okay? The ancient cosmology is the true cosmology. This modern cosmology is fantasy. It's fiction. They've taken the world that you live in and they have recreated it and they've reimagined it so that you are not aware that there will be a depressurization. They've taken the dome and they've thrown it in the trash. The dome is what keeps the Earth's atmosphere pressurized, as well as the magnetic field, okay? Not gravity. This Earth's allegedly flying and spinning and tilting and wobbling through unknown, uncharted space while it's doing these rings around the sun. And none of the atmosphere is flying off and creating like a comet tail. There should be an Earth comet tail, but there's not. Anyways,
I got to ask you, what the heck is 3i Atlas, and why the clouds of mystery around it? NASA's like tight-lipped.
Well, there's a split in the astronomical community. The majority faction says, what's all the fuss about? I mean, it's just...
Okay, first of all, there's going to be a split in the dome, okay? The heavens are going to roll up like a scroll. There will be trumpet noises, loud bursts and bangs heard the world across as the inner Earth is depressurizing, and all of those gases explode in electrical charges up from the Earth high into the atmosphere, bringing thunders of unbelievable loudness along with it. Okay, so yeah, that's the split.
It's a rock from outer space, and it's
right. Come on.
It's going to come through our solar system for the first time and then come whizzing back out again. It's the third known object from outside our solar system.
Hold on. How did this guy age so fast, right? This is another thing too. Time is speeding up. It's crazy. But then you hear this guy, this is the third. He sounds like he's 100 years old. Like, I remember him looking this age. It's crazy.
So what's the fuss? Another faction, however, says, now, wait a minute. Perhaps this is a visitor, an intelligent visitor from another solar system. And perhaps this week we could have a test of it. That's right. This week, it turns out that the asteroid or comet will be whizzing around our sun. And if it picks up extra energy on its flyby, that would clinch it.
And look at these graphics of this alleged picture of the comet. This looks so cheesy. You know what I mean? With all the, like, I can make this effect using Photoshop in like 2 seconds. It's insane. All right. Anyways, let's see. That's funny. That's all I had for that. Hey, just a quick reminder. This is my Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/JayDreamerZ, you can sign up to be in the credits if you want to support my work. I've got these new videos that I've just recently uploaded on my trip out to Texas. I recently went to TrutherCon, and I was invited to come back next year and actually be a speaker and put on a presentation, which I'm gonna blow the dome off of the TrutherCon next year. Oh yeah, and here's some new merch too. I've got this posted on my website. This is a keychain that I've created to replace the old keychains that sold out. So the pieces of the puzzle keychains are no more. Those were a limited amount. Okay, it made one puzzle and one puzzle only, and you guys bought them all. So here's the new keychain. If you want to check it out for yourself, just go over to my website, JayDreamerZ.com, and scroll on over the menu over here. Just scroll over where it says books and merch. Click on that and it'll take you to this page right here where you can check out the keychain if you'd like to get that, my mini posters, and of course my books, right? You get a discount the more you buy. You can buy an individual book as well. If you buy them from my website, you can get them off Amazon, a vanilla copy. If you get it from my website, it comes with an autograph and merch and all kinds of fun, interesting things. And then I've got like some ads over here that just tell you guys I'm available to be a guest speaker. So if you'd like to have me as a guest speaker on your channel or your platform, just shoot me an email. It's jaydreamers.guest@gmail.com. And I offer some other services in the form of video consultations over here as well. All right, let's continue on with the presentation. Why we used to sleep in 2 segments and how the modern shift changed our sense of time. Now this is really interesting. This is a huge omen. Time acting funny. Our sense of time acting strange. As I told you before, the methods with which we keep track of time, the clocks and all that stuff, they're constantly being updated and adjusted and shifting and changing. They're even orchestrating and there are massive blackouts that are happening so that you have to reset your clocks and you don't know what time it is unless you actually have a wind-up clock or something. So you're going to set it according to the internet time. But time itself, the luminaries, our clock, okay, are speeding up. The luminaries, the sun, the moon, the stars, those are the hands on our cosmic clock. And when those hands start to speed up and speed up and speed up, then we are trying to keep up with that. And we adjust our clocks down here. It's not that time itself is speeding up or slowing down or how we experience things. It's our timekeeping method, which is the luminaries that were given for that particular purpose, as it says in the book of Genesis, right? So those luminaries are speeding up. The book of Daniel also refers to this as times, and the dividing of time, or half a time. Jesus refers to this when his disciples asked him, what signs, what omens should we be on the watch for? Because Jesus didn't say a particular year. He didn't say, in the month of May 2040, the world's going to end. And if anyone was to know, I'm pretty sure it'd be Jesus, okay? Instead, he told his disciples the truth, which was to watch the signs. Look for the omens. When you see these things happening, you know that the end is near, right? Time speeding up is one of those things. I've got a sweet video about time speeding up on my channel here. I'm actually I'm revamping my whole playlists, all of my playlists. I'm revamping them right now. So you'll start to see some changes in my playlist, but I'm making it easier for people to find different subject matter in my content. But yeah, people's sense of time. People used to take 2 naps at night. They'd sleep for like half the night, wake up for an hour refreshed, and then they'd get tired and it's still dark, so they'd go back to sleep. And that's the gist of this article. People don't do that any longer. People's circadian rhythms are off. Time itself is speeding up. The number of hours in a day are speeding up, which means inversely, people going back further in time had longer days, longer years, more time in between birthdays, right? More time at night to sleep and stuff. So they were sleeping longer. They were getting better sleep a lot longer ago, right? And this, to finish things off, I've got this quote. It's quiet, a little too quiet. And that's just a feeling, okay? Sometimes omens come from things that are happening. Sometimes they come from signs and stuff that we can actually see, or the Mandela effect and strange events and things. But sometimes those omens come straight from intuition. Sometimes they are just a feeling that you can't shake, like a sense, a knowing that something is about to happen. Something's about to drop. Something's on the way. And that's what I've been feeling lately, at least for the past few days, maybe past couple of weeks, actually. I feel something big is about to happen. And I feel it's directly related to the Earth's electromagnetic field going into these huge fluctuations. And as it goes into huge fluctuations, it's going to start releasing massive bursts of gas, which are being held back by its own magnetic field on the inner Earth. So the inner Earth starts releasing huge bubbles of gas, which sometimes ionize and turn into plasmas, sometimes combust and turn into fires. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just gas releases. But these can have huge effects on us up here on the surface, meaning gigantic earthquakes, meaning liquefaction, or the soil becoming liquid, and things of that nature, meaning more sightings of lights in the sky as those gases ionize, meaning more explosions and more wildfires and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing really large earthquakes. You know what I mean? Big ones in various places. So keep an eye out for those types of things, and keep your eyes on the electromagnetic field, because it's going into flux right now. It's fluctuating. When it fluctuates, it opens up the windows on the inner Earth for those gases to escape. So that's pretty much it for today. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. I'll give a few shout outs here. We got Tiffany Marie, Klang Lich, Lucy Rose Up, TIMG90 Music, Eric Boo Elliott, good to see you. Samantha Hambright, good to see you. Who else? Thelma Ya, Anna Go, Sleepy Mind, Pipa, and a bunch of other people. Anyways, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just to give you a heads up. I'm really starting to focus all of my work and stuff to make things easier to understand, because I cover so many topics, right? I'm going to really start focusing more on the correlation of the plasma apocalypse to all the things that I discuss. And I'm going to start talking more as if I'm speaking to beginners and people who have never heard of any of this before, while doing more advanced things from time to time. Okay? So that's why I'm redoing my playlists. That's why I've sort of changed my banner on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So go check out my website, JayDreamerZ.com, and go check out my Patreon, where you can join the live chat. I don't know if you guys knew that, but over here on my Patreon, I got a 24/7 live chat. So if you want to keep saying what's up to people, just come over here, click on chat, and that'll bring up the visitor chat, which is free. You can click on that. You can share pictures, say hello, introduce yourself, ask questions. And then I got all these other themed chats. So you can share your omens. You can share information about the old world, the plasma apocalypse, Mandela effects, vintage maps, and strange geology. Thanks a lot for joining me for this particular episode. And until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.
Something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier on me if I turn away to flee. But there's something holding on, the way you're thinking I'm gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake I'll try so hard to fade away, but something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier for me if I turn away to flee. But there's something holding on in the way of being long gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up.
Hold the phone. I forgot to make an announcement. So tomorrow, I've been invited to be a guest again over at Carmen Smith Studer's channel. So if you'd like to, come and check it out. I put a link, or I think I put a link in my posts section. Or you could just type in Carmen Smith Studer. I'll put a link later on tonight too. And I also wanted to give a shout out to my brother. I told him I was going to share his latest video while I was in Texas, and I think I might have forgot. So apologies, little bro. But if you guys go to my main channel, my only channel, but the main page, my home, right? And then you scroll up a little bit on the home section, you'll see the only channel that I recommend, which is my brother. His channel name is Straight Jacket White Rabbit. Actually, let me just take you there while I'm at it. We'll just go ahead and go straight to his channel, shall we? That's what my desktop looks like. All right, so we go to click on my channel. Boom. There's my channel. We're live right now. And this is my brother's icon, Straight Jacket White Rabbit. So let's click on him and see what he's got. Looks like the last one, let's click on videos actually. The last one he did was called The Distraction of Global Unrest, and it was actually a pretty good listen. He's also got ghost calls, so ghosts calling people, Forgotten Power Inside of Us All, The Dugway Proving Ground, Death and UFOs at Dugway, Aliens Attacking, Bigfoot. He's got all kinds of really good stuff over here. So go check out my brother, Straight Jacket White Rabbit. Big shout out to him. I'm very proud of what he's been doing, and I'm very proud of him for being brave enough to step up and share his experiences and his thoughts about things. All right, cool. I'm going to take off now. I'll see you guys next time.